Montana's congressional delegation doesn't always agree on controversial issues, especially when it involves the Trump administration. But when it comes to concern about action taken by Trump's new Postmaster General and its effect on the Postal Service, I should say, they're all speaking out. MTN Chief Political Reporter Mike Dennison has more tonight.
In memos made public last month, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy said he is restricting overtime by postal workers and taking other cost-cutting steps that could delay mail delivery. He has said the financially strapped Postal Service needs to operate more like a business. But Democratic U.S. Senator Jon Tester says Congress has appropriated funds to help the Postal Service weather the coronavirus pandemic, but that money has not been released.
We've got a head of the Postal Service that wants to destroy the Postal Service. He's doing everything he can do to destroy it. We've got to hold that person accountable, and we've got to make sure the Postal Service is there.
The Republican members of Montana's delegation aren't happy either. Both U.S. Senator Steve Daines and Representative Greg Gianforte sent letters to DeJoy last week demanding that he reverse directives that are delaying mail delivery times. Daines and Tester also are co-sponsors of a bill introduced a month ago that would create a $25 billion emergency fund to keep the Postal Service afloat and require DeJoy to submit a plan for the service's long-term solvency.
I am concerned about that, particularly for a state like Montana, where rural communities are heavily dependent on the Postal Service, particularly for health care. So many senior citizens and other Montanans receive their medications through the United States Postal Service.
Senator Tester said a well-functioning Postal Service is even more vital now, as millions more Americans will likely be voting by mail this coming election.
Not only is the mail important for just doing regular old business and keeping folks healthy, but vote by mail is kind of nice in a state like Montana, and we had a record turnout during the primary because of it. I believe that this democracy is set up so everybody that's a citizen here should have an opportunity to vote.
So what happens now? As we've reported before on this issue, there's always plenty of tough talk in Congress about fixing and preserving the Postal Service. But here we are, still waiting for action. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Well, funding for the Postal Service had also been a part of the latest pandemic relief bill, but negotiations on that bill remain stalled in Congress.